it's Chloe. Welcome back to this week's video. Today I'm making brown butter chocolate chip cookies. I'm not going to have exact measurements in the video, but if you look down in my description, there will be all the exact measurements so you can make them yourself. So, first thing we're going to want to start off with is our cooled brown butter. I made this a few minutes ago and then just popped it into the freezer and it cooled down real quick. So we're going to add this in. You're going to want to add your sugar and your brown sugar. All right, brown sugar's going in. All right, your packed brown sugar's going in. And now we need our regular sugar. All right, again, the sugar is in. And now you're just gonna wanna pop that into your electric mixer, or you can just whisk it with your hand. But I find this 10 times easier. And just, whisk it until it's fully combined. You might just have to scrape down your bowl once. Shouldn't need twice. All right, scrape down your bowl real quick. Make sure everything's getting fully incorporated. You want big chunks of sugar in there. That's gonna be not too appetizing. All right, now put that in one more time. All right, now that that is fully combined, you are gonna wanna add your eggs. I put it in a separate bowl just to make sure it's not rotted or anything. That's one. 2. Make sure no shells. Be a crunchy cookie. You don't want that. And for this one, we're just doing a yolk. All right, and your yolk is in. Now you can just dump this in the trash or something. All right, and now you're just gonna wanna mix that until combined, and then we'll add our vanilla. All right, now that they're mixed in, now we're gonna add our vanilla. All right, and then mix that in. All right, by this point you should have something that sort of looks like this. It looks more like a brown cloud, sort of like that. So now you just want to scrape down the sides, make sure everything's getting mixed in. Just want to mix this one more time, and then we'll add our dry ingredients. All right, now that that is fully mixed, in our separate bowl, we are going to do our dry ingredients, which is flour, baking soda, baking powder. So I'm going to measure that in. Now we're just going to whisk those together by hand, and then slowly add them to our wet ingredients. You don't want to add it too fast, because then it might dry everything up. And you don't want dry, nasty stale cookies. Nobody likes that. Alright, that's good. Now we're going to add this in a little bit at a time. half, a little less than half at a time. When you add the rest of this flour, that should be the end of it. All right, now add the rest of your flour. All right, now that that's mixed in, we're gonna scrape down our bowl and mix one more time. One more mix. All right, now we're gonna add 1 cup of chocolate chips. 1 cup and a half. One and a half cups of chocolate chips, and we're just gonna mix that in. All right, now I'm gonna scrape everything down and mix it one more time to make sure every piece has some chocolate chip in it. Make sure to clean out your whisk here. All right, and just like that, we have the dough for our brown butter cookies. Now, me personally, I like to put it in the fridge, but if you want to bake them right now, that is completely fine. If you do put them in the fridge, I suggest putting them there for about 1 to 2 hours and then letting it sit out for a little bit so it's able to scoop. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge and I'll be back to show you what to do next. All right, I just took the dough out of the fridge. I had it in there for about 2.5 hours. So now we are gonna place them on this lined baking sheet. And also don't forget to preheat your oven. I have it to 350. So now we're gonna scoop these out of here. And we're gonna try to get them as even as we can. All right, now that the cookies are all scooped out, we're gonna just flatten them a little so that way we can have the salt go on to them. And now we're gonna take our kosher salt, make sure it's kosher salt or it's not gonna taste right. And we're just gonna put some on top. All right, and now that the salt is on, we are going to pop these into my 350-degree preheated oven, and I will come back when they are finished to show you how they look. Just took the cookies out of the oven. This is what they look like. Mine baked for 15 minutes, but before you dig in, you have to let them cool down. I usually let them cool for about 5 to 10 minutes, so I'm gonna do that and then come back to get the final reveal. 5 to 10 minutes later, this is what they look like. I am so proud. These look so good. They baked out perfectly. Nice chewy center, and these go great with a big glass of milk. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more baking and cooking tutorials, just go to my channel and make sure to comment down below and subscribe and like this.